My name is Jawziya Zaman, and I practiced immigration law in San Francisco for 4 years before deciding to move on from the field. After I quit my job, I wrote an article that was published in Dissent magazine about my experiences in the profession, what I liked about it, and why I ultimately decided to move on from it. So, why did I choose immigration law in the first place? Well, I knew very early on that I wanted to work with marginalized communities. I knew that I wanted to work with brown people and with people whose first home was not the United States. Immigration law allowed me to do that, and there were a lot of positive things about the work that I did. I love knowing that when I won a case, it changed someone's life for the better, and I was continually inspired by the strength and the courage of clients who had done whatever was necessary to protect themselves and to protect their families. San Francisco was also a friendlier jurisdiction to immigrants than many other jurisdictions in the US, and that made it a better experience both for myself, but more importantly for my clients. I was also very grateful for the larger community of immigration lawyers in San Francisco, who were some of the warmest, most supportive people I knew, and who were tireless in their efforts to advocate for clients. But practicing immigration law also came with many internal conflicts for me that I was unable to resolve. So in removal defense, where you are basically helping clients not get deported, a big part of your job is to help immigrants demonstrate to the government how deeply ashamed and sorry they are for disobeying the law, and then asking a judge or an administrative agency for forgiveness. I found this process dehumanizing and reductive of the complexities of my clients' lives, and while I understood that this ritual self-flagellation helped them win their cases, I had a hard time stomaching the process of what that actually entailed. In addition to this, when you are making a case for why people shouldn't be deported back to their home countries, US law, immigration law, requires you to promote a narrative that continually reinforces racist and ignorant stereotypes of the global South. You will write briefs in which you resort to interchangeable stories of poverty and violence and scarcity and unemployment, and even for the most well-intentioned immigration attorney, if this is the narrative that you research and write and argue over and over again, there is the danger that you will start to believe it. And I did not want that to happen to me. So what was most challenging about all of this for me is that there didn't seem to be much external acknowledgement about these things. I found a wealth of resources about burnout from long hours, massive caseloads, secondary trauma from listening to clients, but it didn't feel like people were openly talking about the flawed premises of immigration law and about our own role as lawyers in a legal system that dehumanizes immigrants and promotes the worst stereotypes about their home countries. So how did I deal with this? To ground myself, I made it a point to actively seek out people with similar backgrounds and experiences to hear their thoughts and perspectives. I also journaled incessantly, and that was crucial in helping me understand why I felt so much daily discomfort despite positive outcomes for my clients. I forced myself to cultivate a regular meditation practice, and this finally made me stop ignoring the voice in my head that had been telling me for at least a couple of years that I needed to move on to something else. So my main advice to really anybody considering immigration law or any kind of law is to take the time to articulate your core values and ideals to yourself, and to think about what kind of work aligns with those. You may love being a lawyer, and that's great. But if the day-to-day process of lawyering is leaving you exhausted and troubled and anxious and dissatisfied over a long period of time, don't ignore that feeling. Give it space, find your community, and talk about it. When I finally gave voice to what constitutes meaningful work for me, and I followed my instincts, it was one of the scariest things I had ever done, but also one of the most rewarding. So if anyone watching this video is struggling or having doubts, I hope that you know that you are not alone and that there are people that you can talk to who've been through similar things. So keep talking, keep engaging, keep asking the hard questions, and I have no doubt that you will arrive at a place that is better than where you started.